The described conditions present significant safety concerns and violate fire codes. Exposed wiring and damaged electrical equipment are fire and electrical shock hazards. These hazards should be reported to the local fire marshal immediately, as they have the authority to close the establishment if it fails to meet safety standards. Firstly, gather evidence by taking photos or videos of the hazardous conditions. Secondly, contact the fire department and ask to speak to the fire marshal. Thirdly, provide details by describing the specific hazards observed, including their locations and any potential risks. Fourthly, follow up with the fire marshal to ensure they address the report and take appropriate action. Exposed wiring and damaged equipment can cause electrical shock, fires, and equipment malfunctions. Loose ceiling tiles and exposed wiring can accelerate fire spread. Obstructions and blocked exits hinder safe evacuation during a fire. Regular fire safety inspections are crucial for ensuring public buildings meet safety codes. They help identify and address hazards before they cause injuries or property damage. The presence of metal-clad cable hanging from the ceiling with handy boxes and outlets, especially with some fittings detached, indicates potential violations of electrical codes. Additionally, seeing cords with duct tape on the floor is a clear safety hazard. Metal-clad cable is designed to provide a degree of mechanical protection to the conductors inside, but when it's improperly installed or damaged, it can become a significant risk. Handy boxes are commonly used for terminating electrical wiring, but they must be properly secured and grounded to prevent electrical shocks and fires. Outlets that are hanging loose or detached from their boxes can expose live wires, creating an immediate shock hazard. The fact that some of these installations have metal-clad cable coming out of the fittings suggests that the connections are not properly tightened or secured, which can lead to loose wires and potential arcing. The presence of 4 squares with remnants of 2x4s indicates that there may have been previous attempts to support or secure the electrical boxes, but these attempts were inadequate or have failed over time. Cords covered in duct tape on the floor are a major tripping hazard and can easily be damaged, exposing the conductors inside. This is a clear violation of electrical safety standards, as cords should be properly protected and routed to prevent damage and ensure safe passage. When reporting these hazards to the fire marshal, it's important to provide as much detail as possible. This includes the specific locations of the hazards, the type of wiring and equipment involved, and any potential risks that they pose. Photos and videos can be very helpful in documenting the conditions and providing visual evidence to the authorities. The fire marshal will likely conduct an inspection of the premises to assess the extent of the hazards and determine the appropriate course of action. This may involve issuing warnings, requiring repairs, or even closing down the establishment until the safety issues are addressed. In addition to the immediate safety concerns, these conditions can also have long-term consequences. Poorly maintained electrical systems can lead to increased energy consumption, equipment failures, and even property damage. It's important for building owners and managers to prioritize electrical safety and ensure that their systems are properly inspected and maintained. Regular inspections by qualified electricians can help identify potential problems before they become serious hazards. These inspections should include checking the condition of wiring, connections, and equipment, as well as verifying that all installations meet current electrical codes. Any necessary repairs or upgrades should be performed promptly to ensure the safety and reliability of the electrical system. Furthermore, it's important to educate employees and tenants about electrical safety and encourage them to report any hazards they observe. This can help create a culture of safety and prevent accidents from occurring. By working together, building owners, managers, and occupants can help ensure that public buildings are safe and free from electrical hazards. When dealing with electrical issues, it's always best to err on the side of caution and seek professional help. Attempting to repair or modify electrical systems without the proper training and experience can be dangerous and even deadly. Qualified electricians have the knowledge and skills to safely and effectively address electrical problems and ensure that all work is done in accordance with applicable codes and standards. Ignoring electrical hazards can have serious consequences, including fires, electrical shocks, injuries, and even fatalities. It's important to take these risks seriously and take prompt action to address any safety concerns. By reporting hazards to the appropriate authorities and working with qualified professionals, it's possible to create a safer environment for everyone. Moreover, the NEC provides specific guidelines for the proper installation and maintenance of electrical systems. These guidelines are designed to minimize the risk of electrical hazards and ensure the safety of people and property. Some key areas covered by the NEC include wiring methods, grounding, overcurrent protection, and equipment installation. For example, the NEC specifies the types of wiring methods that are permitted for different applications, as well as the requirements for supporting and protecting conductors. It also provides detailed instructions for grounding electrical systems to prevent electrical shocks and ensure proper operation of equipment. Overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, are designed to protect electrical circuits from overloads and short circuits. The NEC specifies the size and type of overcurrent protection devices that are required for different circuits, as well as the requirements for their installation and maintenance. The NEC also provides guidelines for the installation of electrical equipment such as lighting fixtures, receptacles, and appliances. These guidelines are designed to ensure that equipment is installed safely and in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions. In addition to the NEC, local electrical codes may also apply. These codes may be more stringent than the NEC and may address specific local conditions or concerns. It's important to be familiar with both the NEC and any applicable local codes to ensure that all electrical work is performed safely and in compliance with regulations. Proper grounding is crucial for electrical safety. Grounding provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, allowing overcurrent protection devices to trip and energize the circuit. Without proper grounding, fault current can flow through unintended paths such as metal enclosures or even people, causing electrical shocks or fires. The NEC specifies the requirements for grounding electrical systems, including the size and type of grounding conductors, as well as the methods for connecting grounding electrodes. Grounding electrodes, such as ground rods or metal water pipes, are used to connect the electrical system to the earth, providing a low-impedance path for fault current. Overcurrent protection is another essential aspect of electrical safety. Overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, are designed to protect electrical circuits from overloads and short circuits. When an overcurrent occurs, the overcurrent protection device will trip, interrupting the flow of current and preventing damage to the circuit and equipment. The NEC specifies the size and type of overcurrent protection devices that are required for different circuits, as well as the requirements for their installation and maintenance. It's important to select the correct overcurrent protection device for each circuit to ensure that it will trip quickly and reliably in the event of an overcurrent. Wiring methods also play a critical role in electrical safety. The NEC specifies the types of wiring methods that are permitted for different applications, as well as the requirements for supporting and protecting conductors. Common wiring methods include metal-clad cable, non-metallic sheath cable, and conduit. Each wiring method has its own advantages and disadvantages, and the appropriate wiring method should be selected based on the specific application and environmental conditions. For example, metal-clad cable is often used in commercial and industrial buildings because it provides a high degree of mechanical protection to the conductors inside. Non-metallic sheath cable is commonly used in residential buildings because it is relatively inexpensive and easy to install. Conduit is often used in areas where the wiring is exposed to physical damage or corrosive environments. In addition to selecting the appropriate wiring method, it's also important to ensure that the wiring is properly installed and supported. The NEC specifies the requirements for supporting and securing conductors, as well as the minimum spacing between conductors. Proper installation and support of wiring can help prevent damage to the conductors and reduce the risk of electrical hazards. Electrical equipment also needs to be installed and maintained properly to ensure safety. The NEC provides guidelines for the installation of electrical equipment such as lighting fixtures, receptacles, and appliances. These guidelines are designed to ensure that equipment is installed safely and in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions. It's important to follow these guidelines carefully to prevent electrical hazards and ensure the proper operation of equipment. Regular maintenance of electrical equipment is also essential for safety. This includes inspecting equipment for damage, cleaning equipment to remove dust and debris, and testing equipment to verify its proper operation. Any necessary repairs or replacements should be performed promptly to prevent electrical hazards and ensure the continued safe operation of equipment. In the situation described, the exposed wiring, damaged equipment, and improper installations all violate these basic principles of electrical safety. The hanging metal-clad cable with detached fittings poses a risk of electrical shock and fire, as the conductors inside may be exposed or damaged. The cords covered in duct tape on the floor are a tripping hazard and can easily be damaged, exposing the conductors inside. The combination of these hazards creates a dangerous environment that requires immediate attention. Reporting these hazards to the fire marshal is the responsible thing to do. The fire marshal has the authority to inspect the premises, assess the extent of the hazards, and take appropriate action to ensure the safety of the public. This may involve issuing warnings, requiring repairs, or even closing down the establishment until the safety issues are addressed. By reporting these hazards, an individual is helping to protect the safety of others and prevent potential accidents from occurring. Electrical codes are in place for public safety. Section 110.3 B of the National Electrical Code requires listed or labeled equipment to be installed and used in accordance with any instructions included in the listing or labeling. The damaged and haphazard electrical installations observed clearly deviate from accepted safety practices. Section 110.12 covers neat and workmanlike manner. Electrical equipment should be installed in a neat and workmanlike manner. This means that the installation should be visually appealing and should not create any hazards. Sloppy wiring and exposed connections are prime examples of non-compliant installations. Chapter 3 of the NEC covers wiring methods and materials. This chapter specifies the types of wiring methods that are permitted for different applications, as well as the requirements for supporting and protecting conductors. The metal-clad cable hanging from the ceiling with detached fittings is likely a violation of these requirements, as it is not properly supported and the conductors may be exposed. Article 400 covers flexible cords and cables. This article specifies the types of flexible cords and cables that are permitted for different applications, as well as the requirements for their use and installation. The cords covered in duct tape on the floor are likely a violation of these requirements, as they are not properly protected and may be damaged. Article 406 covers receptacles, cord connectors, and attachment plugs. This article specifies the requirements for the installation of receptacles, cord connectors, and attachment plugs. The outlets that are hanging loose or detached from their boxes are likely a violation of these requirements, as they are not properly secured and may expose live wires. Article 590 covers temporary installations. This article specifies the requirements for temporary electrical installations, such as those used during construction or remodeling. Even if the installations are intended to be temporary, they must still meet certain safety requirements to protect workers and the public. The haphazard wiring and exposed connections are unlikely to meet these requirements. Overcurrent protection, as detailed in Article 240, is a critical safety measure. Circuit breakers and fuses must be appropriately sized and installed to protect circuits from overloads and short circuits. The existing conditions might lack proper or overcurrent protection, increasing the risk of fire. Grounding and bonding, covered in Article 250, are essential for preventing electrical shock. Improper grounding or bonding can create a dangerous situation where metal parts of electrical equipment become energized. The description provided suggests that grounding and bonding may be inadequate, further increasing the risk of electrical shock. Regular inspections, as emphasized throughout the NEC, are vital for identifying and correcting electrical hazards. The flea market appears to lack regular inspections, allowing these unsafe conditions to persist. The fire marshal has the authority to enforce these codes and ensure that the flea market is brought into compliance. By reporting the hazards, action can be taken to prevent accidents and protect the safety of everyone who visits the flea market. The NEC is not just a set of rules, it is a comprehensive safety standard that is designed to protect people and property from electrical hazards. It is important for everyone to be aware of these hazards and to take steps to prevent them.